On January 8, 2026, Representative Steny Hoyer of Maryland, a Democratic giant whose influence has shaped the House for more than 4 decades, announced his retirement from Congress. The news sent ripples through Washington, as colleagues and constituents alike reflected on the end of an era. At 86, Hoyer stands among the longest-serving House members in American history. His remarkable career stretches from the Reagan era, through the turbulence of the 1990s, the post-9/11 years, and into the present day. Over the decades he became a fixture in the Capitol, known for his steady leadership and unwavering commitment to public service. Hoyer's decision to step down was not made lightly. After long conversations and deep reflection with his family, he chose to close this chapter, believing it was time for new voices to emerge. For Maryland and the Democratic Party, his retirement marks the end of an era defined by experience, wisdom, and a deep sense of duty. In his announcement, Hoyer emphasized that he did not want to outstay his ability to serve effectively. This self-awareness and humility have been hallmarks of his career, earning him respect from both allies and opponents. He spoke candidly about the importance of knowing when to step aside for the good of the institution. Hoyer's departure, following closely after Nancy Pelosi's, signals a profound generational shift in the Democratic Party's leadership. The torch is being passed to a new generation, bringing both uncertainty and hope for the future of the party and the country. For Maryland's 5th District, Hoyer was more than just a representative. He was a constant presence, a trusted advocate, and a familiar face at community events. His decades of service earned him the loyalty and respect of his constituents, who returned him to Congress term after term. As Steny Hoyer prepares to bid farewell, Congress pauses to honor a legacy built on dedication, integrity, and a lifelong commitment to the American people. His impact will be felt for years to come as a new chapter begins in the halls of power. Steny Hoyer's political journey began in Maryland's State Senate, where he first stepped onto the public stage as a determined young lawmaker. Even in those early days, Hoyer was known for his sharp intellect and his ability to bring people together across party lines. He quickly made a name for himself as someone who listened, learned, and led with conviction. At just 35, he became the youngest Senate president in Maryland's history, a remarkable achievement that signaled his potential for even greater things. His leadership style was marked by a steady hand and a willingness to tackle tough issues head-on, earning respect from colleagues and constituents alike. This early experience in the state legislature taught him the art of legislating, the importance of compromise, and the value of building lasting relationships, skills that would become the foundation of his long and influential career. Hoyer learned how to navigate complex political waters, forging alliances, and finding common ground. In 1981, after years of service in Maryland, Hoyer won a special election to the U.S. House of Representatives. This victory marked the beginning of a remarkable 4-decade tenure in Congress, where he would become one of the most influential lawmakers of his generation. Hoyer quickly earned a reputation as a serious, effective lawmaker, more focused on results than headlines. He was known for his work ethic, his attention to detail, and his ability to get things done behind the scenes, qualities that set him apart in a city often driven by spectacle. Over the years he steadily rose through the ranks, serving as Democratic Caucus Chair, where he helped shape party strategy and unify members around shared goals. He then became Deputy Whip, and ultimately Majority Leader, each role bringing new challenges and greater responsibility. As Whip and Majority Leader, Hoyer was the engine behind the Democratic legislative agenda, responsible for counting votes, enforcing party discipline, and ensuring that key bills made it to the floor. His ability to rally support and keep the caucus united was legendary. Hoyer's partnership with Speaker Nancy Pelosi became the stuff of legend. Together, they turned bold vision into legislative victories, navigating the highs and lows of American politics with determination and skill. His rise from the halls of Maryland's state capitol to the heights of House leadership is a testament to his endurance, political acumen, and unwavering commitment to public service. Hoyer's journey reflects the power of perseverance and the impact one dedicated individual can have on the nation's course. Above all, Hoyer's career is defined by his steadfast dedication to the institution of Congress and to the principles of democracy. His legacy is one of service, leadership, and a deep belief in the power of government to improve people's lives. Steny Hoyer's legacy is forever tied to the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990. As the bill's lead sponsor in the House, he navigated fierce opposition and built a bipartisan coalition. Hoyer framed the ADA as a moral issue, about fairness and dignity, not partisanship. His steady leadership and negotiation skills were crucial in passing this landmark law. The ADA transformed American life, mandating accessibility and inclusion for millions. For Hoyer, it was more than policy. It was about changing lives and expanding opportunity. The ADA's passage stands as a testament to what Congress can achieve through consensus and persistence. Its impact is seen every day in the lives of Americans who now have access to a world once closed to them. The role of House Whip is demanding and often misunderstood, but Hoyer mastered it. As the chief vote counter and a key strategist, he was responsible for knowing where every member stood on critical issues, often before the members themselves had made up their minds. The job required not just political savvy, but a deep understanding of personalities, priorities, and the ever-shifting landscape of congressional politics. Beyond counting votes, he built consensus in a diverse Democratic caucus, uniting progressives and moderates. Hoyer's approach was rooted in listening. He took the time to hear out concerns from every corner of the party, whether from the most liberal voices or the most cautious centrists. He understood that true unity required more than just numbers. It demanded trust, empathy, and a willingness to find common ground. Hoyer's encyclopedic knowledge of his colleagues and their districts made him a persuasive negotiator. He could recall the unique needs of a rural district in the Midwest or the priorities of an urban community on the East Coast, tailoring his arguments to resonate with each member's constituents. This attention to detail gave him credibility and influence in even the toughest negotiations. He balanced toughness with diplomacy, convincing skeptics and brokering compromises. Hoyer knew when to push hard and when to step back, always keeping the larger goal in mind. His ability to mediate between opposing factions often meant the difference between legislative gridlock and progress. His focus was always on the achievable, knowing that partial victories often matter most in Congress. He recognized that progress is often incremental, and that even small steps forward can lay the groundwork for future success. Hoyer celebrated these wins, understanding their importance in the broader legislative journey. Much of this work happened behind the scenes, in quiet meetings and late-night calls. The public rarely saw the hours spent negotiating, persuading, and building relationships, but these moments were where the real work of consensus building took place. Hoyer's dedication to these unseen efforts was a testament to his commitment to the institution. Hoyer's respect for the legislative process and his colleagues was key to his success. He treated every member, regardless of rank or ideology, with dignity, fostering an environment where collaboration was possible, even in times of deep disagreement. He understood that passing laws required more than good ideas. It required finding the votes, one member at a time. This painstaking process demanded patience, persistence, and a willingness to engage with every perspective, no matter how challenging. His legacy as a consensus builder is a model for effective leadership in a divided era. Hoyer's example reminds us that progress in democracy is built on relationships, compromise, and the relentless pursuit of common purpose. In 2023, Hoyer, Pelosi, and Clyburn stepped back from House Democratic leadership, marking a generational shift. Their coordinated transition was rare in politics, no public feuds, just unity and a smooth handoff to Hakeem Jeffries and a new team. Hoyer became a senior advisor, sharing his institutional knowledge while empowering new leaders. This move prioritized the party's future over personal ambition. The old guard's departure signaled the end of an era and the start of a new chapter for House Democrats. Hoyer's willingness to step aside showed his loyalty to the institution and belief in renewal. He shifted from commander to mentor, offering stability and wisdom from the sidelines. His graceful exit is a lesson in knowing when to lead and when to let go. After 4 decades, Hoyer is candid about his concerns for American democracy. He's watched Congress become more polarized and less civil, with personal relationships across the aisle fading away. Hoyer believes the tone in Congress reflects the electorate. Angry confrontational politics mirror a divided nation. He recalls a time when debate was about policy, not personal attacks, and compromise was possible. Today, political identity often trumps cooperation, making governance harder. Despite his worries, Hoyer still believes in Congress's power to do good. He warns that restoring civility and functionality will require change not just in Washington, but across the country. His farewell is a plea for a return to dialogue, respect, and the principles that sustain democracy. Hoyer sees former President Trump as both a symptom and a cause of America's political divisions. Trump's confrontational style and disregard for norms, Hoyer argues, accelerated the decline in civility. The January 6th attack on the Capitol was a traumatic moment for Hoyer, who was present that day. He was especially disturbed by Trump's pardons for those convicted in the attack, calling it a betrayal of the rule of law. For Hoyer, this wasn't just about policy, it was about defending the very foundations of democracy. The Trump era left a lasting scar on Congress, making bipartisan cooperation even more difficult. Hoyer's warnings are rooted in his deep commitment to the institution and fear for its future resilience. Hoyer and Pelosi's partnership defined Democratic leadership for a generation. While sometimes rivals, their mutual respect and shared commitment to the party's agenda made them a formidable team. Pelosi was the strategist and public face, Hoyer, the legislative master behind the scenes. Hoyer openly admits he aspired to be Speaker, but recognized Pelosi's political skill and accepted his role as Majority Leader. He holds no regrets, valuing the stability and effectiveness their partnership brought to the caucus. Hoyer's ability to put the cause above personal ambition helped keep Democratic leadership united. His story is a lesson in managing ambition and disappointment with grace. As Hoyer leaves Congress, his legacy is clear: a master legislator, a stabilizing force, and a champion of bipartisanship. He is forever linked to the Americans with Disabilities Act and decades of legislative achievement. Hoyer's steady leadership helped guide the party through crises and historic victories. His departure marks the end of a political generation and a turning point for the Democratic Party. Yet he leaves with concern for the deep divisions in today's politics. Hoyer's career is a reminder of a time when respect and compromise were possible, even among rivals. He believed in government's power to improve lives and in the nobility of public service. In an era of cynicism, Hoyer's legacy stands as proof that politics can still be a force for good.